Test, test. Woo! I am alive. Fantastic. Love to see it. And here we go. There we go. Move that over. Move this over. And yep, that way I can still see something. Oh, there we go. Just the way I like to see it. Actually, screw that. I'll just go this way. All right. Howdy, everybody. How's everybody doing? I forgot where I put my cameras. There we go. Rich, nice to see you here. And I think this is the first time you were first in chat. Sorry, lowering the volume on that. So, I'm a little bit tired, so I'm gonna put in some like monster coffee in here that I got from my Dollar Tree. This is gonna be my Dollar Tree special since people were joking so much about making stuff at Dollar Tree. I went to Dollar Tree, took $10. I was gonna do this last week, but my mom had guests, so I had to go back to Dollar Tree get another $10 of stuff. And I'm gonna see about making breakfast for $10. Now, I'm not gonna lie. That's meh. I'm not gonna lie. I am going to basically cheat. And if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Let's just be honest about that. Hello, Zoe. Good to see you here too. So, on the menu for today, we got cheat waffles, as I like to call them. We're gonna make eggs. I got turkey bacon. That's gonna be one thing, and then I'm gonna make a breakfast burrito with of course, soft. Now I can't talk. Soft tortillas, eggs, a sausage I grabbed from the Dollar Tree, maybe some more turkey bacon, some nacho cheese, and some drained salsa because I don't want it runny. I want it to be a little bit thick. And I spent all of $9. I would have spent less, but my mom was like, "Well, if you're gonna be cooking this stuff, you shouldn't be adding stuff that you're not gonna eat." So $2 went to butter and syrup, and I had $1 extra, so I bought cookie dough. So that's gonna be a thing. So so you're ready? You're calling me sensei? That's hilarious. All right. You know, if I can make you a master chef or a basic chef by cheating, I will accept that. And let's see. So, just as proof, my tortillas, my cheat waffles. You just need water for this. I don't know how to mess this up other than quantity. Syrup. I got my syrups. Maybe put that better. That's probably a better angle. I have a light right there, so that's probably illuminating. And let's see here. A dozen eggs. And then let's see here. Got my medium salsa. I usually like hot salsa, but Dollar Tree don't deal with the hot. They only deal with medium. Some sausage. Now, I was calculating with this because I could have got breakfast sausage for $1, but with this smoked sausage, I figured I can dice this up and I have a little bit more variety. Plus, on average, you'll find this kind of sausage at Dollar Tree more so than you find the breakfast sausage. It's actually rarer. It's harder to get the breakfast sausage. It sells out more. Then I got my butter sticks, which is technically not butter. I think this is margarine. Yeah, it's vegetable oil. So it's not real butter, but it does the trick. You know? And let's see here. What happened? Zoe, you burnt your pot pie? What was is there pot pie in the microwave or in the oven when you burnt it? I'm fascinated right now. And not to ignore you, Rich. I think we asked the other night how was the move, but wait, I thought you were getting ready to move. I'm a little bit confused. That was my turkey bacon and chocolate chip dough. Right there, chocolate chips. So that's going to be a little bit of a dessert thing I'm going to try. But first things first, I like to leave the eggs for last. So let's do this. I'm going to actually get this pan heated. And then I'm going to do this one too. That's going to be good. You want that nice and hot and ready. And then let's see here. We want a mixing bowl. Big bowl. Small whisk. Because I'm a messy guy. And we're going to do this. Yes, King Goes Mare. Because no meal should be without a dessert. And cookies are great for dessert. Alright, so I need half a cup of mix. I could do that. Half a cup. So I was thinking about what else I could do. So probably in the next couple of weeks, I may make this actually challenging. By like, for the same dollar amount, can I do an actual meal, not a breakfast? Probably should have put. I had a measuring thing and I didn't even bother using that. This is why you shouldn't talk and make things at the same time. Anyways, and one of the things I was thinking about doing is making it so that I have to buy my bowls and equipment. Woo, that is not smart. Use a spoon. Gently go back. Aha. All right. All right, now that I fixed my faux pas, learn from my mistakes. Don't do as I do. So like, I was like sitting in the aisle looking at the breakfast stuff because I just wanted breakfast to cook for $10. And then I'm like, wow, I can make ramen, but not like cheap ramen. I can get like the cheap ramen noodles, and then I can get like eggs, and they have certain meats, and I can mix those. And I can make it like a fairly decent ramen if I really wanted to try. And then 1/3 cup of water. Okay. All right. Let's see how this does. Gonna sit here, do my little mix in the oversized bowl with a tiny whisk. So how's everybody's weekend going? I actually slept in this week, if you would dare say it was sleeping in, because I've been getting up early for the last 2 weeks. Well, it's early for me because my 9 to 5 is really like 12 to 8, and I had to do a change of shift because they needed me for 2 weeks to help in another department. So I ended up working technically 9:30 to 6. You know, breaks and lunches and all that jazz. So this is what they consider as a pancake proportion. When you all make your pancakes, do you like your pancakes to be this runny? I don't. If I make pancakes, I make them nice and thick. I want it to be almost like cake-like texture. All right. Although this is going to be like that, this is actually probably going to hold up really nice for what I want. Now, you may ask yourself, where is Ahdontron's mom? You just missed her. She's out going to meet up with some friends. She has more of a social life than I'm not gonna lie. She goes out, she does things. You know, when I was old enough to hit the clubs, I would go to the club every now and then, or to the bar every now and then. You know, but she was going out dancing twice as much than I ever did. I remember one time, back in the halcyon days of working at Blockbuster Video, I was with a manager, and my manager's like, "Hey, you want to come out with me? We're gonna go work out, and then we're gonna go grab some I think it was Taco Bell. We wanted to get Taco Bell after working out." So I'm like, "I'm down. I haven't done anything in a while." And so, like, at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, I get a text from her, and she's like, "Hey, I'm out. Just to let you know, I'm at this particular club, and da 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 da." And then she goes, "Yeah, these guys are trying to pick up on me, and they're like your age." And I'm like, "Why are you bother telling me this? Like, are you asking me to come over there and like talk to these guys or whatever?" She's like, "No, no, no. I just want to put that out there." I'm like, That's not necessary." I'm looking at my manager like, "Bro, I have no idea why my mom's bother telling me about guys who's trying to pick up on her." I told her, I'm like, "If any of them speak up to you or anything like that, just let me know. I'll drive over there." I wasn't far. It was just so awkward, and that memory has never left me. But long story short, my mom likes hitting the clubs way more than I did. All right, so that's gonna be for a waffle. I might have to do more, but it feels like it's gonna give me at least 1 or 2 waffles. Now, because I did not buy any oil, I am going to slap in some butter. And we're going to warm that up. And then this is room temp. And I know this is technically not butter, but it's butter enough. And then we're going to let that drip into there a little bit. Yes. Get around the edges. Just around the edges. All right. Let that drip over there for a second. Like that. Toss the butter all over the place. because it's not airtight. There we go. And then we're gonna just get that little part that we're missing right there. Yes. All right, so oh, Tales from the X-Files. Whew. All right. I need a moment to think. Tales from the X-Files. I don't. So let's talk about expectations. How about that? So there are times I never thought of myself as being like a romantic or kind guy, and a lot of times. So personally, I always thought that I would need to try and make an effort to do things that are romantic or considerate out of expectations that this was something that was expected out of me, or the girl that I was dating at the time desired that. So let's talk about my first girlfriend. Well, technically a second girlfriend. My first girlfriend was in middle school, and she approached me, and I said, okay. It was like I didn't really care about it at the time. And I probably mentioned this before that we basically dated in school, but we didn't really date outside of school, and which was like very childish to say. But like the reason I didn't continue anything or try to date outside of her, outside of school, with her was purely out of the fact that my brother was substituting, and she's like, he looks good. Do you have his number? And like, especially when she found out I was his brother, and I was like, I don't play that. We're done. And I literally broke up with her at that moment. But my first official girlfriend was a girl I knew in high school. I never had a girlfriend in high school. So this girl I knew from high school, and in college, while I was in college, we decided to go out and start dating. We ended up dating for about 3 years. So I was in a relationship with her for 3 years. And there were certain things that happened. Like, she wanted to celebrate like every 6 months. I don't know why, but she wanted to be like 6-month anniversary, year anniversary, so forth like that. So one of the anniversaries, I can't remember if it was a year anniversary, 6-month anniversary, something like that. I want to say it was a 6-month one. I overdid it as far as gift wise. I acknowledge this now, but so I got her a Tinkerbell like little clock with like glass dome clock with a little bracelet, like a little gold bracelet that would wrap around like I took the glass apart, draped the thing around Tinkerbell, re-encased it, and I wrapped it in a nice little box and everything for her. I gave that to her. One, the bracelet fell off the Tinkerbell. And she's like, I love the Tinkerbell, da da da. And I'm like, wait, no, wait, there's more. And I open it up and I give her the bracelet. She goes, oh, okay. And so her excitement was like, oh, okay. And then she goes, here's your gift. Wasn't wrapped, wasn't anything. She just took it out of her backpack and goes, here. And it's a frog. A stuffed frog. Not even Kermit the Frog. It was a stuffed frog. And I was like, oh, okay, this is my bad. I've overspent, and, I obviously did too much. But I also went, why the frog? And she goes, I don't know, I just thought it was cute. So I'm like, okay. So it didn't connect to me in any way. And this is a person who knew me for years. Another situation, same person. I was very sick one time. Now, this person could not cook worth a damn. Nothing against them. Not everybody is a good cook. but I never saw her try. So that's why I say she couldn't cook with her dam, is because she never really tried. And sorry, it just dawned on me. I need this. And she knew I was really, really sick. I'd been sick for a couple days. And she goes, I'm going to make you a bowl of soup. And I'm like, really? Like, is your mom making it? Because I've tasted your mom's food. She's legit. But are you making me soup? She goes, yes, I'm going to make you soup. And I'm like, I got excited. Now, for all I know, she was going to poison me. But I was excited for the effort. The effort was what was genuinely getting me excited. I was willing to be poisoned for that effort. Now, I spent the entire day not eating. I was sick. That helped. But I spent the entire day not eating at all. And she decided to work overtime on top of this. So she came in later than what was originally expected, but I was okay. And she comes in. I'm laying in a recliner that we no longer have. It was like a Lazy Boy fabric recliner that we got rid of years ago. And my mom's like, son, are you going to eat anything? I'm like, no. Food's on its way. She's bringing it. I swear, she's bringing it. She's like, are you sure you have not eaten? I'm like, oh, no. I'm going to eat. She's bringing me soup. I didn't care what the soup was. I'm like, she's bringing me soup. And she goes, okay. She finally shows up and greets me. She's like, oh, you're looking pretty sick. I'm like, yeah, I've been sick this entire time. And I'm like, so you brought me soup? I have not eaten. She goes, yeah, I did. And she just hands up a Walmart bag and she goes, here you go. And I look at the Walmart bag and I can clearly see it's just a singular, through the bag, I could clearly see it's like a little Chef Boyardee can of like chicken soup. And I just ask her, so you're not even going to at least open the can and pour it into a bowl? And she goes, why should I? I'm like, no, don't worry. She's like, no, I can do it. I'm like, no, that's fine. So, long story short, peoples, when you're dealing with people, keep expectations low. You won't be disappointed by doing that. Sometimes it's just like when you're watching a show or a movie, your mind will add things or levels to it that will get you more excited than it really needs to be. And that will make it seem like a worse experience. Enjoy. Probably not as fun as some of my other stories I've said before. Oh, Zoe, you like my cup? This is my cup. I got this at a Renaissance festival. So I don't want to tilt this. It has like Monster in it. And I got this to play with my D&D. I don't drink out of it all the time. There's something about like my lips touching the edges I'm not a fan of. But when I do it, I enjoy it. I agree, Rich. It is very hard to know what to get somebody. I do interviews with the people I try to get guests for. I'm like, hey man, how you been? You know, do you remember those times I fish for information? This is a little bit browner than I want it. And not as much as mixed as I want it on it. But it is cooked through. Aha. And that is very waffle-like. I'll put that right there. Woo-hoo. All right. And now I'm going to cover this bad boy up real quick. I'm not making like 5 waffles because it's just gonna be me eating it. My mom doesn't like to eat too much carbs. But now that I got that down, I am gonna start heating up this, and then we're gonna take this out, and I'm gonna toss in some turkey, which I should have been doing that earlier. Yep, I'm only gonna leave that for now. I probably need to get a new one of these. This one has been around for a fair amount of time and it's been used for everything. Like everything just sticks on it. Let's see here. So, to answer your question, Mike, I've never dated someone like a Zoe that inadvertently poisoned people. I've more or less dated those who just don't cook. Which goes back to my father telling me you need to learn to cook for yourself because most women you'll meet in life just won't cook for you. You can't rely on that. And I learned that when I was a child. And I didn't think he was serious at the time. Lo and behold, he was dead serious. And I'm just grateful for that. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, if I met a woman and I was going to date her, the likelihood of her cooking was on the low spectrum. And then and that includes baking too. So like one girl I dated, she said she loved cooking. That was a lie. Another girl I dated, I mentioned this one before. Let's call her St. Pete. She didn't like cooking at all. So I made a deal with her that I would actually do all the cooking if she did all the cleaning. That was her mistake. She agreed to that. And so I cooked everything. Which, let's be honest, wasn't that easy all the time because also half the time, every time I went to visit, there was always expired food and ingredients in her fridge. So she's like, I want to eat this. And then I open it up. I'm like throwing stuff out her fridge every other week. And I'm like, why? Why? And it's not like she bought in bulk. She was a small frame person that just didn't eat. And that always annoyed me. Let's see here. Exactly, Rich. I would have made soup or attempted to make soup. I would have, and I've said this. I would have been okay if she bought that Chef Boyardee chicken soup, put it in a bowl, and lied to me. I would have known the difference, but it was the effort. And like I've said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And if she cheated the meal, I would have been okay with it. But you come at me with a sealed can, not even a pop top, a sealed can of soup, and just go, here you go. I'm like, I could have walked to my pantry and done that. I really could have. I want to do some of this butter over here. It's going to go for my eggs. Now, I don't know about everybody here, but what I like to do is I like to put my eggs in a bowl, whether I'm going to scramble them or not, just because I like to be able to just pour it all in. I'm getting good with doing it with one hand, by the way. Yes. All right, so I'm going to I want to do sunny side up for my eggs. I'm not going to do my eggs in here because this sticks. So I know that's going to be a recipe for disaster. And what was I saying? Yes. It is rare to find a person that likes to cook. Um, oh, there was one time where I was I may have mentioned this. So I dated one girl who said she could bake. She could not bake, and I learned this the hard way because we ended up trying to make cookies, and they ended up like scones because every other ingredient we decided to split the ingredient list in half. I stayed true to the ingredients. I get to her house, and all the ingredients that she was supposed to get, she substituted. So no regular sugar, brown sugar, no flour. It was like wheat flour. Even like the peanut butter that was supposed to be used was like powder peanut butter. It's just like she just substituted everything. I'm like, and she's like, it'll be okay. I'm like, are you sure? Baking is like a science. There's a reason why it's like mathematically done. You don't, I mean, you can feel it out, but you still have to know your math for proportion and ratios. She's like, no, no, it's good. It's good. That thing was supremely hard. Not only was it crispy, it was just like a brick. Wait, Zoe, how big is your circle of friends that know how to, like, you say you only know 2 people. So how big is your circle at? Like, my circle of friends is very small. And I've had friends that will say they can cook. And I've been like, no, brother, you do not cook. um, Now I have my circle of acquaintances much larger, and I do know some that would be able to cook. And it seems shameful, but I like to test the theory of like, what can you cook, how can you cook, and like what do you do? Mm. All right, we're gonna take this. This over here. And then we're gonna take this. And I can never find the things I want when I want. Ah, take that. All right, so it's not going to be truly fried, but they will be sunny side up, where I let it steam a little bit in the pan. Wait. So for guys and girls, you have about 7 that are you call friends. There's a good ratio. Keep your friends like in a small ratio. You want I don't know if you saw you. I think you saw that stream where I was talking with Andy about friendship. Friends are definitely should rightfully be a low percentage number. Acquaintances you can have as high as you want, and you can have different levels of acquaintances, but true friends should be a low percentage number. And let's see here. Philly, good to see you. Good to see you. And well, I know for sure you would find me here. I'm literally the host here. So awesome. And so is this where the cool kids hang out on Saturday? I would hope the cool kids will hang out here. Uh, Lately, a lot of my acquaintances and friends that I would hang out have been busy on the weekends. Like some of the guys that we would normally have D&D this particular Saturday, but we had to postpone it because most of the group is actually in Orlando. They didn't invite me, but it's okay. I mean, they're spending time with their families. Just don't include me. I'm just kidding. I'm okay with that. And it tosses, flip this bacon a little bit. Turkey bacon is a lie in comparison to what real bacon is, but I will accept it for the purpose. And I have to get the video from Damien from the last time I did my barbecue cooking um, for the D&D, because he did this great panoramic view of it on his camera, and he has to send it. I'm gonna post it. It looks fantastic. We got the D&D figures all around the food. It looked great. Oh, okay. See, and those are my eggs. We're gonna take a little bit of this. Where's my stuff? Aha! I don't want nothing popping in my pan. There we go. Clean this up a bit. There we go. All right. Let some of that out. And then, what was I gonna, oh, I don't think I've mentioned this. So last time I did my cooking stream, where I was gonna do the salsa and everything, do you all want to hear a story? What happened after that? Well, I mean, it's not like you have a choice. You're kind of a captive audience right now. So that day, I made my ribs, different styles. I made chicken breast, different styles. I made the mango salsa. I decided to do swordfish filleted with bacon wrapped around it, chicken thighs. I had it all laid out. The dogs were out, chilling with everybody, and I didn't put them away. They have their own room. Like, we have a very, very large laundry room space. So, like, I usually just close the gate. Like, we have a baby gate we use, and I just put them in the baby gate room. I decided not to, because all my friends that were here are very familiar with my dogs. And so I say, let them roam free. Let them roam free. Now, after I'm done cooking, and everybody's here, we had a couple drinks, and we're like, let's go set up. We got to do our D&D. We're going to record, and we need to do that. So I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. I get everything set to go, and I kid you not, it's about like maybe 5 minutes of doing like camera setup, and then also audio testing, and then a little bit of, just placement for people. Like, you're going to sit here, you're going to do this, so forth like that. And not that long. When we finally get everything set, and it's after we do the audio test, I'm sitting in the furthest region of the dining room, and I'm hearing like crunch and slap noises. I'm not going to imitate them because it's going to sound perverse. But I'm hearing these noises, and I'm telling everybody, shut up now. And they're like, what is it? I said, everybody got quiet, and I'm just listening, and I'm like, no. And I run over to the kitchen, and here is my mom's dog, who, mind you, is notorious for doing this. She is on, by the way, my mom's latest kitchen chair, because that's new. But she's on the chair eating the teriyaki chicken thighs that I had made. And she was down to the bone. So she ate an entire thigh. But when I looked at the table, she had already eaten the entire swordfish fillet that I had, all the bacon that was there, part of the rib, because I had another stack of rib. I had portions. And then my dog was on the floor eating the scraps that she had tossed over. And mind you, my mom's dog is like this long, and roughly this thick. She's not that big of a dog. She's a Yorkshire Terrier or Yorkie. She's a Yorkie. And just tears it up in those 5 minutes time frame. I was so pissed. I had to cut off the pieces, separate what she ate. My friends that were there were like, bro, you know I've never eaten swordfish before. And then I had to be like, well, it looks like that trend is still going to continue. So you're no longer going to eat swordfish. Because that was going to be their first time eating swordfish, and I had no more swordfish. I just bought some filet steaks, and she ate it all. And my dog got the scraps. My dog is 3 times her size, and he got the scraps, and she ate it all. Doesn't share. She does not share. Let's see. Billy's like, he knew where the story was going. Listen, this dog has stolen food. Yes, she was a rescue. We got her at a kennel. But we've had her for like almost 10 years now, and she has always stolen food from us. You would think we never feed her. No, we feed her. It's just that she likes to steal food because she doesn't like the food we give her. And case in point, she's also an alcoholic. She'll drink alcohol. All right, and just for effects, I do not mind having syrup touch my eggs. I know some people are very sensitive about that. They prefer ketchup only, but because I didn't want to spend $1 on getting ketchup, especially if I already have ketchup, I just got some syrup. As a kid, I was always okay with this. There's butter underneath the eggs, but this was all, put together. Butter, syrup, eggs, bacon, the mix, $5. And you got that at Dollar Tree. Whoop, get that a little bit closer there. And pull away. Boom. Now, I'm going to cover that up for a brief moment so I can retain some of that heat. Now, what I'm going to do is the other portion. So, staying on my mom's dog. She has... I used to order pizza from Hungry Howie's. Ooh, that's a good question. Do you peoples have Hungry Howie's in your area? I know Hungry Howie's is here in Florida. I don't know if it's like in Texas or some of your other areas. I like to know about like the different locations if they have those chains to carry over. But either way, Hungry Howie's is it's like a quick pizza place, kind of like Little Caesars. Not as cheap as Little Caesars, but I would say it's a step below Pizza Hut and Papa John's. And actually, it's a step below Domino's. On Wednesdays, you can go and get like a $6 pizza. You can get flavored crust easy, so forth like that. Oh, so Hungry Howie's is not in Canada. Ah, okay. And then, let's see. I'm going to bisect these because I don't want these to be too thick for what I'm planning on doing with them. All right. And I'm going to try bisecting one more time. I'm using the big word bisect. If I'm using it wrong, let me know. And then let's see here. But basically, when I used to eat at Hungry Howie's a lot, I would love to get Hungry Howie's pepperoni pizza with a Cajun crust, which is this. They take like this Cajun powder mix that was pretty spicy, has red pepper flakes mixed into the mix with like black pepper, garlic, and so forth like that. It was pretty. It had a little kick of heat to it, and it was like kind of like a blackened crust kind of situation. So they'll do that, toss that into the crust, and on top of the crust, coat it, and I would eat that. This dog Well, I'm just chilling with my mom one day. I have it on my plate, and she literally just my plate. I was sitting on the couch, and my plate was just ever so slightly tilted. She comes by and just yanks it crust first off the plate, and she starts eating it from crust back, like it was a cheese crust stuff, not phased by the spice and heat whatsoever. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see how she is. I've seen her on the table because she's clever. She'll use whatever force she could to push one of those chairs out. If the chair is light enough, she'll push it with her head, jump on the chair, then jump onto the table. The desk setup that I had in my bedroom, I used to put like drinks there. She would jump on like a chair to my bed and then jump from the bed to the desk so she can get to the food or whatever I'm having on that desk. But like one Christmas party I had, I'm escorting people out so they can go to their car and being a good host, saying goodbyes. Come back. She has her face all the way in a solo cup full of wine, just drinking the wine. Zoe, I know you can respect that. She's stolen food from my dad. We eat something called pasteles. And pasteles, I don't know how to describe a pastele for people. But pasteles are kind of like, I have no idea how to describe a pastele. So it's like it's a dish that you have for a meal. It's like you have plantains that you mix with other vegetables and whatnot that you'll grind into like a paste, and then you would stuff it with like ground meat and like peppers and olives, seasonings, and it's all stuffed in there. After and you wrap it around, and it usually is like boiled to have a pastele. So it has a unique, depending on how it's done, it has a unique firm or soft texture. Some people like it very soft, almost runny. Some people like it more firm. I like it firm. I don't like it to be soft, so firmer the better for me. So, and I just heard myself speak, so you can add that to the soundbite cue, Zoe. But yeah, so she's eaten that. She's stolen food from that. My dog, I've been grateful. He has only stolen food twice in the 10 years I've had. Like intentionally. Not food that's fallen on the ground, I don't count that. But where he's made effort to steal food. All right, so I think 3 eggs should do the trick for this. All right, so this I used for eggs before, so I'm not worried about doing this again. Yep. Damn, I was so close. I got cocky. All right, so a little trick. If you get a shell that you see, try using the shell to get the other shell out. Don't go in fishing with your finger. Make sure you use the shell. It'll do you a favor in your scooping skills. And then that one had another shell. There we go. They usually stick pretty well together. And then one more. My mom's dog is always hungry, man. I'm not lying. Oh yes, she stole Burger King from me. I came home. It was late night. I go to walk her, and I forget why I decided to walk her and not my dog at the same time, but I decided to walk them separately. I put my Burger King on the table, and I get the king size, rodeo burger that they had, and extra large. I made an effort. I was hungry, and I decide to, walk my dog. I come back, and I feed both of them. And when I feed my dogs, I feed them more than my mom does. My mom is like, they need to have a certain proportion a day. They need to have this much a day. No, I feed them. So they always are happy when I'm the one giving them food, because I give them like twice the proportions as she gives. It's like a balancing act. I come back to the now when I give her her food, her bowl is filled to the rim. She's eating it like she hasn't eaten all day. My dog's eating his food. I come back to the kitchen. What I find in the kitchen is the Burger King bag has been knocked over on the table. The fries have been taken out. They were barely eaten. But the burger that was, I kid you not, this big, because I made sure they had a lot in it, was eaten. The only thing she left was the bottom bread bun. She ate the top bread bun. She ate all the double patties of meat, all the condiments, all the ingredients. She left just the fried onions. She ate that. She just left the bottom bread bun. I swear to God, if she had a chance, she would have took a sip of my soda too. And I come back, she ate all her food. This dog eats like she is a professional food competitor. She is never not hungry. Oh, mind you, I forgot the best part about this. So after the whole eating the food for my D&D crew that she did, now for roughly a week, she is having stomach issues. Having the runs, having a da-da-da, And I find out because I go to walk her late at night, like the next day over, and my entire laundry room floor is looking like a littered minefield. And I'm spending like a half hour to like 45 minutes having to clean this up. It was not an experience I wanted ever wish on anybody. And then no shame in a little bit more butter. All right. A little bit there. Toss a little bit there. All right. I'm going to give that a quick second to get a touch there. I'm going to take this. Boom. Toss that. Just a little bit of a flip. What's up, Drew Skizzy? And then let's see, kick that up just a bit. I'm gonna cut this open. And then we're gonna do that. What I should do, while I'm waiting for that, I'll take this, pour it into contents into my stir, say container, cover. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But check on the eggs. A little bit. I want these to be scrambled, not omelet style. So I want them to be a little bit chunky. And then let these finish cooking out here. All right. And then I'm going to take this. And then I'm going to take this. I'm going to toss this here. Go. We're going to get that temperature up going. And a little bit higher. All right, this is about ready to put together. What up, Will? Good to see you here. All right, so do I want it that side? Do I want it that side? I feel like I want this side. And then we're going to take this side, go like that, because I don't want to go soft on this. All right, so we're going to take this. I want this over here, this over here, and then this one just going to be my straggler. All right. So just going to dice these up. If you hear a little bit of thunder, sorry, but that's Florida weather for you. And then we're going to take that. It's technically pouring right now when it was just sunny when I started the stream. And it'll probably get sunny again in a little bit. All right, so we're going to take this, take that, and then I'm going to take this part. And we're going to take that. I don't want that right now. My mom left today. She's like, make sure you leave the kitchen immaculate. I left it immaculate. I'm like, I make no promises. I don't need all that, but get that there. And we're going to take this with this. I like keeping that like that. I'm going to take some of these eggs, lay them out like this. Now, I should mention, I do not know how to roll a burrito. This is probably shameful. But this is going to be a first for me. Tacos are easy. Burritos, they're next level. I'm going to put like little shavings of bacon all over the place. Take this back. Grab that. Take this out. All right. All right, and we're going to take some of this. I want to drizzle this nacho cheese because remember, I only had $10, so I didn't have much as far as salts and seasonings. So the eggs aren't salted right now. So I'm counting on the high sodium count of the bacon mixed with, you know, my charred broiled sausage chunks here. You know, slightly blackened on some ends, not on others, to give a little bit more texture. And then we're going to take this. That's just to roll that back in there. And my mom also told me, she's like, hopefully you learn how to make your food look pretty. She's like, you can make good food that tastes good, but making it look pretty is a whole new level. I was like, thank you, Mom, for the vote of confidence. And then we're going to take this. Now, you may ask yourself, Don, why did you use a little shiv thing on the salsa? Well, because I don't want my burrito to be runny. So I wanted it to drip out some of the chunks. All right, so we're going to see it. Should have started from this end, but whatever. There, we're going to take this. There, we're going to take this. There, roll this up. Oh, I'm fucking up. All right. Well, that's going to make a mess. And then we're going to take this and we're going to toss that there. All right. So now I got this off. Yes, it's off. I'm going to take the extra stuff I had. Just put this on here. Get that out of the way. Let's see. What am I missing in the chat? I haven't been focusing on you guys in the chat. Oh, Zoe had to... Yes, it is hurricane season right now, Zoe. I wonder if I can get a good angle for you people to see the weather. Like right now the thunder's going off. Well, like every day it rains and we get thunder. Fortunately for me, I'm more inland. So we get the weather, like hurricanes will hit my area, but by the time it hits my area, it downgrades. So a lot of times it's like a lower end hurricane or it's a tropical storm by the time it gets to me. Are there complications? Can they arise? Absolutely. Am I used to it? 100%. Was there a year that I was without power for a week? Yes, there was. All right, so this is going to the side. I'm no longer going to be using that. Now I'm going to clean a little bit. Oh. And let me not forget about my burrito. I forgot about my burrito. I forgot about my burrito. That was on me. I messed up. My bad. And then let's see here. Let's do this. Let's go with different color palette. Dishes. There we go. Then okay. So I have my pan a little bit high. I'm gonna own this. I own it. I kind of crisped it up a little bit too much, more so on the other side than what you're seeing. So that's not good. But let's do this. I am going to take this. Now we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. I'm gonna try and make this look as professional as I can. And then, all right. There we go. Now, put a 1 if you think I should cut it halfway or diagonal. Oh, wait, no. I did not think that answer through. Put a 1 if I should go straight halfway. Put a 2 if I should do it like a diagonal cut. And then that way I can cut this burrito. And let's see here while that's going on. I am just make 6 big cookies. Now this will take for well, 10 to 12 minutes. I can do that. 325. All right. Oh, most people say cut it diagonal. Gotcha. All right. So cut diagonally. But let me just take this stuff out. because I use. I don't care about the cakes that are in there. I'll just reuse this. That's fine. Nothing's gonna break it yet. Cool. So, diagonal. It always makes me feel, ooh, did not like the sound of that. Okay, so, put that there. I probably could have scrambled it a little bit more. Like, actually take the ingredients and mix them up. Maybe if I do it this way. And then do that. All right, so, how does that look? Aluminum foil makes it look prettier, I think. Or if I do this, one in aluminum, one outside of the aluminum. Break the flakes off. There you go. How's that? Almost, you know, professional grade. Now, this one is freshly done, so. Yo, that's not bad. I can mess with that. You know, maybe flake off the crisp a little bit. You know, that just adds character. The blackness just adds character. But I gotta. This has been sitting here. I've been feeling bad about this. I'm sorry I left you alone. I'm sorry. I needed to attend to the people. Let's get into this. All right, I'm gonna take a huge bite. I don't care what anybody says. Waffles over pancakes any day of the week. The waffles has those little pockets. They hold the syrup. They'll hold the butter. If you put like a soft boiled egg, like a runny egg yolk, catches it. I call those flavor pockets of goodness. And then it's crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. Or for those of you who like this reference, it's firm on the outside, but soft on the inside. Just the way I like it. The turkey bacon, not quite bacon, but it is slightly salty. It is crisp. It'll do the trick for what I need for my salt intake. So this was $5 to make. This was butter, nacho cheese, salsa, eggs, sausage, turkey, and tortilla. $7 to make. So $7 to make this, $5 to make this, both from Dollar Tree. Spent $10 altogether. I think that's killer. I mean, I've spent more at Taco Bell and and Denny's for a meal like this. Let's see. What's up, Storms? Wait. Who are you telling you need to take out to eat waffles? Oh. Okay, first of all, Chris, valid point. I'm not going to deny your point right here. I need to hold, when I'm about to take a bite, a piece of the food to the camera. I'm going to try to get everything all on one fork. Now, this is emphasis on try. Emphasis on try. Come on, boy. Come on. There we go. Get a little bit of syrup. Get a little bit of egg. I want that on there. All right. And then I'm going to put this up here. And then you probably see it over here like that. But then you get the other angle like that. And then you get that angle right there. And then back down there. All right. Now, it's dripping. I'm okay with this. This is good for me. And I got leftovers. I got leftovers. And then I clearly am tearing up this burrito, as you can see. This is gonna be this is my brunch basically. I didn't have breakfast, so I'm tearing this up. Now you may ask yourself, why did I turn on my oven? I'm gonna make me some cookies. I'm home alone. I'm gonna have me some cookies. So, oh yeah, I remember. I think it was in the chat that you mentioned this, Stormy. You've never had waffles before? Yeah, definitely. You're missing out in life. Pancakes are good, but waffles, it's where it's at. And I'm particular about my pancakes. I've mentioned this before earlier. Pancakes need to be like almost cake-like. Put a one if you prefer your, and I'm not going to say this is a wrong point of view, because everybody has a preference to how they eat their pancakes. But put a one if you prefer your pancakes to be more dense. I don't know, thinner. If you prefer your pancakes to be thinner, almost crepe-like, not quite crepes. Crepes are their own thing, but almost crepe-like, just really thin, not as fluffy. Put a one. If you like them to be more thick and cake-like airy, very cakey, put a two. I'm just curious. I will say, spoilers, I'm a two. If my pancake comes out, whether it's like a good circumference or like a long floppy pancake, if it comes out about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick, I'm gonna be happy. And it's cooked all the way, done. I'm happy with those pancakes. My mom loves them to be kind of crepe-like, where they're really thin and like almost paper thin. So she's not going for a crepe. She doesn't have crepes, but she likes them to be like very dense and like you can throw them like ninja stars. And Philly, you make a good point too. Who makes the pancakes is key. Because some people will make pancakes and they add stuff to the mix. It changes the flavor base. Plus, the size. What you put on top of your pancake can also make a difference. Like, obviously, maple syrup, butter. They're your go-to standards. But, I've had some pancakes where you get some like candied apples, like the cinnamon crisp apples, where they were just like buttery soft chunks of apple mixed with cinnamon and sugar, kind of like apple pie just put on top of your pancake. And then from there, they put like a little bit of a dollop of whipped cream on top of that. Yo, that's your syrup right there. Your little pancakes with the waffle with the apple slices all drizzled on there. You don't need syrup at that point. It just has the juices coming down. I'm not gonna lie, that I would mess with that too. I've had it with other berries and other fruits, but that one just works for me. Way to go, Crackle Barrel. That's where I've gotten that at. And then we're going to take this. Here's a fun question, though. What's your favorite topping besides syrup on top of your pancake and or waffle? Now I'm just like being really curious. And then, set the oven to 10 to 15 minutes. Got a sheet, even spaced with enough room for the cookies. So it's 10 to 15, 12 minutes, golden brown. Yep, that's going to be good. Okay, blueberry. Okay, so let's see. Philly cheese says, no, I'm sorry. Rich says chocolate pancakes. Rich, I gotta clarify. Are you talking about like chocolate chip pancakes or actually like chocolate pancakes where like they take like cocoa powder or chocolate milk mix powder and they mix it into the flour? Either way, I have not tried either. Sounds interesting. Blueberry pancakes for... I have had blueberry pancakes. That's actually legit. Like blueberries on your pancakes. Oh wait, or Rich, do you mean like chocolate syrup on top of the pancakes? I've had that. I've had chocolate syrup on pancakes. It's like it just turns it into a whole dessert. And then Storm whipped cream. I'll go with whipped cream. Fruits, okay. But Mike, when you say fruit, is it like just raw fruit or is it like actually cooked and like sauteed or done with something else? Billy says whipped cream with fruit on top. Okay. In case you haven't realized, I get fascinated with like what people eat too. Cause you know what? I like to go out to eat, but I can't hit everything. So I get intrigued by what people like to eat. Wait, your office had pancake days? They used to bring you guys pancakes? Hmm. Syrup with the fruit. Okay. Watch that. All right. So that's got to go for another 10 to 12 minutes or till golden brown. That should be done shortly. This has been the quickest segment I've had ever. I've been able to get everything cooked relatively quickly. I'm proud of myself. I am not going to use all this nacho cheese. This may seem wasteful. I don't care. I'll probably stuff the rest of that back into the can. This I will be using. And then it was funny because when I got the cheese, I told my mom, like, I got some cheese to go with my my egg and the burrito. She goes, please tell me you didn't get that cheese that doesn't melt. And I go, no, I got pre-melted cheese. She's like, it's just as bad. I'm like, I know, but at least it'll melt. She's like, that is very true. All right, so I'm going to save some of this cheese because I don't like wasting. We're going to take this, put that there. All right, so someone in the office would make us pancakes and would have us, whichever type we wanted, she would... Oh, they made pancakes and crepes. Yo. I had a crepe. What is it? Where did I have a crepe? I think the first time I had crepes, I was in St. Augustine, I want to say. I think it was in the same yeah. Yeah. So, did I tell the story about when I stayed at a haunted B&B? I know sometimes I repeat myself. Um, but basically, I stayed in one place with my mom, and for breakfast, we decided to walk the streets, and we went to this one place, and they were serving crepes, and I ate like this crepe with like strawberries and fruits and like a cream filling. It was legit. Let's see here. Oh, she worked at a French restaurant. Okay. Oh, and I haven't told this story to y'all. Okay. So I still got my cookies in the oven. So story time. All right. So here's what happened. My mom wanted to go to, I could be wrong, but I believe it was St. Augustine. She's like, I wanted to go to this place that's like one of the oldest cities in Florida. Yada yada yada. History. Um. So I go, yeah, mom, let's go. I forget. I think it was like for her birthday or for like Mother's Day or some random day that we wanted to celebrate for her. So it was just me and her. I was, of course, the driver, um, which I have no problem with. I'll drive her wherever she wants to go. One quick second. Put that there. Put this there. Put that there. All right. So we go stay at this B&B place. It's like a little townhouse B&B. This house has been around for, I want to say, like 100 years. Like the area was like a mile or two away from a broken down castle that was used to like for the Spaniards to defend. So they had cannons and everything. We walked it up and down and stuff like that. So it was a historical place. It was just so many years ago, I just don't remember exactly. It was a nice little B&B. The owner wasn't there. She just gave us the keys. It turns out she was a friend of my mom's. And they had a kitchen and whatnot. We didn't do any cooking inside there. But they had a fireplace. The fireplace was closed off. And me and my mom each took a separate room. So the second story had two rooms. I had the room that was to the right. When you go up the stairway, which was like the steep set stairs, and you cut the corner, you had the room directly on the right. And then you had, which looked out to the main street. And I remember looking out to the main street, and I was like, "Oh, they have a bathroom with a shower." But then they had one of those clawfoot tubs, which I debated about using. I always wanted to take a bath in one of those tubs, but I was like, we're only spending the one night, and I didn't want to take a bath in the tub, especially in the sense that like I didn't want to run the water because I did not know if that tub was hooked up to the water supply properly. So I didn't want to get ready and like soak into something that water's not going to come out of. Either way, she takes the room across the hall, and I go to sleep. I have pretty decent night's sleep, despite all the lights coming through the windows and whatnot. Nothing happens. Next morning, I go to take a shower, and I decided to take the shower first in my room because my mom was deciding to just chill outside on the outside balcony. She had a second floor balcony. So I take a shower. The water is ice cold. Super, super ice cold. Nothing I could do to make this water get hot. I was just frustrated. But, I used to be on the swim team. You do what you do. Sometimes you get like cold showers. Sometimes you get hot showers. You got to take your shower anyways. And as we leave, she gets a call from her friend because we're on the road driving home now. And I'm hearing her and she goes, oh, oh, oh. And then after she's done talking to her friend, she goes, so did anything happen last night? I go, no. I'm like, how was, it's like, anything happened for you? She goes, well, there's a couple things that I noticed. And I'm like, well, why are you bringing this up? Like, was there something that we should be aware of? And she goes, well, apparently my friend told me that this place is haunted. It's like, so you knew we were going into a haunted house? She goes, no, I didn't know until now. She just told me now. She just wanted to see if we experienced anything. Apparently she reported this place to like a travel guide as being a haunted place because a lot of things happen. I'm like, so why are you asking me? She's like, the room that you stayed in is like the room that gets the most hauntings. I'm like, No, nothing happened to me. I just had like a really, really cold shower. She's like, that's funny because when I took a shower, my water was extremely hot. I'm like, so you're saying basically ghosts just wanted to fuck with me and like have an ice cold shower? That's not comfortable. And but apparently there was other stuff that happened for her. So in my room, supposedly the things that happened were like people seeing things move. The people were locked into their room and they couldn't get locked out and get unlocked, and all sorts of stuff that's happened. None of that happened to me other than a super cold shower. For my mom, though, before we went up to our rooms that night before, we were sleeping on. We fell asleep on the couch. She remembers vividly feelings like something brushing on her forehead, like touching her forehead, and she woke up and she thought I was trying to wake her up, and I wasn't. And then she looked over because the way that she was laying down, it was one of those L couches. She looked over and she saw these legs walking up the stairway. And like I said, it's a super, super steep stairway. So, like your average stairway, maybe like that angle, like a 45-degree angle. It was like closer to like, yeah, 45, closer to like maybe like a 35-degree angle. Just super steep incline. So she just saw like the legs and she thought it was cutting off because of the shadowing and the lighting. And then she looked down at the foot. She looked down as she was trying to get up, and she saw I was still sleeping on the other end of the couch. She does not tell me this. And we find out that it was a family that passed away in that house like 80 years prior. They died in a fire and caused by the fireplace. That's why the fireplace was always sealed up. So it had a little thing sealing up the fireplace so you can't light it. But it was two children and the mother that passed away in that house. So the people that reported this prior to us have seen the kids. They especially in that one room, and the mother in the house. They've witnessed these things. So nothing bad happened with me. Nothing bad happened with my mom. My mom just saw stuff and she felt stuff. But that was our ghost story. Nothing really too scary or intimidating. But I was like, Mom, you might want to rethink calling this person your friend. She's literally having you stay at her haunted house just to test to see if the house is haunted, but doesn't tell you the place is haunted. Not cool. Not cool. Oh yeah, no, like my family, we've we've dealt with stuff. Whether or not you believe in ghosts is one thing, and I don't say like I 100% believe in ghosts, but I do believe there are things that, as of right now, cannot be explained. And you could take it as like a scientific point of view. Like if you can't answer it, it's in the category of unexplained. That's just a fact. And whether or not you want to associate it as a ghost or some unnatural occurrence, fine, cool. Doesn't mean that experience did not happen. Now, what if it was aliens? Zoe, can't answer to that. Although, I can't remember, because my dad lived a lot of places before he married into my family side. So, in his younger days, he came from Vieques. He lived on the islands. He lived in Jersey. He lived in Texas, Key West, all over the place. So, he told me of a story when he was back in the military. I can't remember if he was back on the islands at the time or if he was like in Texas at the time. But he remembers seeing things in the sky moving around that shouldn't be. He was very familiar with like the movement of drones and flights and planes and stuff like that. And he's like, they were not that. And he was in the clear night sky because he was in the country area. And he was watching it and he's like, those aren't natural lights. Now, My father did tell me of a story because he used to live nearby a prison, or was it a cemetery? It may have been both, actually. I think this was in Texas. So he did live. I'm going to go with a prison. I'm going with a prison. But it was an old prison. And I don't even know if it's still open. But he used to live there, and he had a house. And he said he didn't live in that house long because, like, one night he woke up, he heard a ruckus, grabbed his gun at the time that he had, and he went to go check the main room because he thought someone was breaking in, and he remembers seeing the bookshelves, like all the items on the bookshelves being like moved, like flying off and then flying back on, like they were just moving it off and then flying back on. From what he told me, and he's like, it was the craziest thing he's ever seen. And it was at that point that he's like, shortly after that, he moved out. He didn't bother questioning, didn't bother researching, didn't do anything of that nature. He's just like, I was out. I was not going to play around. Oh, Sliders? I love that show. Let's see. Rich, I get that reference. They're out of phase with us. They're on a different wavelength. That scientifically could theoretically be a thing. It's just, or they could be aliens out of wavelength too. It could be a combination of all. And let's see. What was I gonna say? I'm not gonna give all my ghost stories, but yeah, that one I remember from my dad telling me that one. My dad remembers when you remember Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original came out, and before the original came out, there was actually, it's inspired by actual events for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And my father used to drive trucks around that time frame. Yeah, remember, my parents are in the older spectrum. I'm not that young. Don't let this youthful look deceive you. I'm not a spring chicken. I've been around the block a couple times. But basically, he used to drive a truck, and my cookies should be done. Yeah, okay. These. All right, I'm gonna let these cool. But look at that. Look at that. There we go. Get some cookies. Not bad for $1. Huh. I heard something fall down. But all right. Gonna let that cool for a minute. While that cools down, I'm gonna finish this off. So around that time frame when my dad was truck driving, he two things that he remembers vividly in that time frame. In that time frame, he's like, there were parts of the country that you don't want to drive through as a man of particular skin complexion, and he's like, he called those good old boy towns, where he would drive down, and he would try to go on a trip. Like one time, he was trying to go on a trip with his ex-wife at the time, his wife at the time, not my mom, different woman, and he's trying to go see his friend. Forget what state he was in, but he's driving across country, and he sees, literally driving across state lines, like crosses that have been burnt. That clearly were burnt overnight. And he goes into a gas station to fill up. He asks the gas station attendant, "Hey, by chance, do you know like a hotel, motel, someplace that me and my wife can crash for the night? We've been driving for a long time. You know, we want to rest. And the guy goes, "Oh no, oh like there's not a place nearby, but you can just pull the car around back, and you can just get a couple hours of sleep back there." And as he's telling this to my dad notices several pickup trucks are starting to pull up with some good old boys. My dad goes, "Thank you, no thanks." Gets in the car real quick and drives off because he's like, he doesn't like a situation that he feels like he can't get out of. This was turning into one of those situations. Now, mind you, to piggyback onto the Texas Chainsaw Massacre story, this happened, that story I just mentioned happened shortly after when he was driving on a truck through the country roads around the same area. Not quite the same area. It's in the same state. It's in the same state for sure. But where he was driving up and down the streets where the actual murders were found. So he's on those back roads where the actual murders were found, and he's listening to the radio as they're announcing how they found the bodies and the families, and the one of the killers got away or something like that. And this was all before the movie. And then when the movie came out, he remembers everything about this. So he's like, it freaked him out because he's like, that could have been me at any point in time. He's like, I've pulled over to help people out. I've done all sorts of stuff. And it's like, that could have been any time. It's a crazy world, man. Oh, when cooking, stay in one shot or one spot. Okay. Wait. I missed a couple things. Okay, when it keeps burning everything, I burned. Wait, okay. Let me catch up on this chat here. Spring chicken adjacent. Beautiful. I can smell them. Your cookies aren't black like mine. Use it. Zoe. Okay. So when making cookies or baking in the oven, you can't always go by the instructions sometimes. That's why they say you want to pull them out when they're like golden brown. Because the ovens aren't always like cooking at the right temp. Sometimes they cook too hot. They raise their temperatures too much. So you always, even though you have a set time, you want to always eye your cooking, like check on your oven. Like that said to cook for 10 to 12 minutes. I actually cooked a little bit longer because I know my oven is going to be a little bit, I have more stuff in my oven. Like I had skillets in there and I just wanted it to heat up some more. And then I just pull it out right when I think they look good. And then, yeah, Rich, you're right. When cooking, stay in one spot. That's how I ended up burning my burrito. I had my burritos over there. I walked over here. If your eyes aren't on your food that you're cooking, you're more likely to mess up and burn it or just not have it done. Unless it's one of those things like it's slow and low for a long time, then you can walk away. Like crock pots or like put it in the oven at an extremely low temperature but it's covered. Those kind of things you can get away with. Zoe has lost his lost cause. So we have told her this. She burned a pot pie earlier in the microwave. So it was in the microwave. It was in the okay. So that's what I was asking. Was it in the microwave or oven? The pot pie was in the microwave. I shouldn't laugh at that. I've burned plenty of things in the microwave. I've mentioned my story about burning. Granted, the egg roll was it was food poisoning waiting to happen. And I think it was God intervening by igniting the egg roll like a dynamite stick. But I burned things in the microwave. My dad showed me how to make eggs in the microwave, and sometimes that can go well. Sometimes it does not. And then microwaves is one of those things you got do it in low intervals take out, mix, flip, do whatever you need to do. Like certain things, like you reheat in the microwave, you might want to have a cup of water in there. Like when I'm reheating rice, I might put some water in the microwave when I reheat my rice because I like my rice to be slightly moist or soft. I'm not a big fan of fried rice. And so because of that, I'll do that. And then, or I might spritz a little water into the cup with the rice so it evaporates with the rice and softens it back up again. But like French fries, I wouldn't do French fries in a microwave. Toaster oven, 100% for French fries. Keep that crisp. I've heard pizza in the microwave with like a cup of water. That helps so that it doesn't like firm up the pizza when you're reheating it. But then if I was to do that, I would toss it back in the toaster oven because pizza has to have a crisp crust, not soft. So, so he's like, I followed what was on the box. But again, sometimes the box just generalizes. The box may say like you need a certain voltage in your microwave, and if your microwave is set too high, then that's gonna mess up your settings for what you need for timing in the box. Yes, and I've had eggs explode in the microwave because I was being a fool and I was like, oh, well, I can do eggs for 30 seconds at a time, scrambled. Let's just double it or triple it and then just walk away. It's the same thing. No, it's not. When you come up to your microwave and your egg starts looking like a blow up balloon, that's not how your egg should look because that's a sign it's about to explode. Your mom made a slip up months ago. Gave you a rotten egg. I had to spit it out. Ooh, yeah. Wait, was it cooked? Rich, was it cooked? All right, and then you open up. Oh, she didn't open the flap. Oh, so I did do this one time at my job. Not Blockbuster, at my current job. So now I work at home. Thank you, 2020. But before 2020, I actually worked at the office building, and I went through a 22-day period where I was eating nothing but potatoes, and I was dropping weight. It was like a cleanse thing that I was doing, and I learned a couple things about myself. One, if you eat something consistently for a long period of time, you may be able to survive, but you're going to grow to hate it. And you may tell yourself, I love potatoes, but you don't really love potatoes. What you love is what you put on your potatoes. You love the salt, you love the oil, you love the butter, you love the bacon, the cheese, the cream, whatever else that will go with your potatoes. You love that, but you don't love the potato. Because having a potato by itself, and I know I'm saying it that way because it's just fun for me, having it by itself is very bland. It's not bad for you. It's high in potassium, low calories. You can have a giant sized potato for about like 100 calories. It has a lot of water intake. The starch will fill you up, and you can technically survive of that by itself. And I did for 22 days. I just drank water, black coffee, and potatoes, and then and I did that for 22 days. Lost like 20 something pounds. It was ridiculous. I dropped so much weight. By the end, I was hating it, and I would rather not eat than eat a potato. But long story short, one day I forgot to pre-bake my potato at home, so I decide I'm gonna toss it into the microwave. I've done this 100 times before, and I stabbed the potato with a fork so it can breathe. I put I two things I did not do. One, I didn't put a little bit of water at the bottom of the bowl or plate that I brought with me. Two, it was a microwave safe bowl, but because I did not add water to it, the bowl was not to the standards of heat that will be generated from the potato. And when you put a potato in your oven, in a microwave, depending on how high your microwave cooks, it's going to cook that potato much faster. And I tossed this thing in for like 8 solid minutes. I walk away, come back. Now, my potato melted a hole through the bottom of my plastic Tupperware onto the surface of the microwave. It had shriveled up to like a raisin and had generated smoke and had ignited in the microwave. Fortunately, this was not in the break room, but it was in the main cafeteria hall. Now, I do work the late shift, so my lunches were more around like 5 o'clock in the evening. So no one was really there except for a handful of people. But this is also why they put up the sign, do not walk away from the microwave. And I walked away. So when I came back to the microwave, we're seeing that this thing is like ignited. There's smoke. I'm trying to like cut off the smoke at the pass. I take the potato out. I'm tossing it into the sink. It's still smoking. I run outside and I literally just throw the potato out in the trash can outside, hoping that it's not ignited enough that will light anything on fire in the trash. And I'm trying to like flush out the smoke. And now we have like 4 doorways that are sealed that you need a like ID badge for security. Now they have to keep these doorways open to let the smoke and everything out before it ignites the fire alarm. Because in my office building, we had like 500 plus people working. So if the fire alarm goes off, everybody has to leave the building, and we shut down the entire site until the fire department gets there to check the area. Fortunately, I did not trigger the fire alarms, but there was a smell of burnt potato in the entire cafeteria for a solid day, and I was pulling security off because security had now had to man the doors that we had to open up. It was the eeriest thing. It was a funny thing to have to explain to everybody. And just be like, my bad, peoples. By the way, I have to go back to work. Sorry. So one more. I like the Irish accent only on potato. Yes. And then Rich, you have a little bit Irish in you. Respect. I have some Irish friends. Some of my good long-term friends. I could say back in the day. Actually, I would say they're my friend. And even though I'm not close with them anymore, but if they called me up and they needed something, I would be there for them. I knew them from like way, way back in the day. Like, and then it's been honest, like maybe 10, 15 years. And if they needed anything, I would be there in a heartbeat. Anyways, and let's see here. Let's see. What did I miss? Let's see. Oh, I didn't miss anything. Fantastic. Okay, good. And then, yay. Yeah, they came right off. Okay, perfect. Right, I'm just going to use styrofoam plates. Fix these right here. FYI, Zoe, styrofoam plates, good for disposable, bad for hot dishes. I took some bacon out. I wasn't thinking, tossed it onto a styrofoam plate. Within 3 seconds, it had burned a hole through the styrofoam plate. And if you're lucky, it doesn't stick the styrofoam to the food. If you're not, you're inadvertently going to be feeding people styrofoam. So paper plates, if you're going to use those, or plastic plates. But these are the cookies after they've cooled down. And there we go. Very good. Now, the real test. They're nice and brown on the bottom. I mean, they sound like they're all the way cooked. I like my cookies to be semi-soft. Kind of like I like my steak. I like them to be medium well, or just medium rare, to be precise. Cookies, I like to be medium well, where it's got like slightly soft in the inside, crisp on the outside. I don't like too much crunch on my cookie. Not that I have sensitive teeth, it's just preference. Put a 1 if you like your cookie to be extra crisp, kind of like a cracker, or put a 2 if you like your cookie soft. I'm down for the 2. I'm not going to eat all this. I'm going to save some of this for my mom. That I'm going to finish off because my mom doesn't eat egg, and I got egg all over there, so that's now mine. That's going to turn into my dinner. The other stuff I have left behind, that's going to become breakfast for tomorrow. You know what? I'm happy. I spent $10, got essentially 3 different meals. Did I cheat? Absolutely. Do I care that I cheated? Hell no. Will I do a meal where I don't cheat? Yes, I can do that. I double checked while I was there. They have flour, they have fruit. Granted, it's canned fruit. They have meats, canned meats to be precise. I could do a meal where I'm not cheating. I just wanted to see the maximum I can get for my value when I cheat. Do I have eggs left over? Absolutely. So yeah, I'm happy with this for $10. I probably could have got away with just $5. Have a decent meal there. I don't have any ice cream on right now. But Zoe, yes, I could make an ice cream sandwich with those cookies. But Zoe, have you ever had an ice cream sandwich with waffles? Put a 1 if you had an ice cream sandwich with waffles. Obvious answer. If you have not, just put a 2. I'm done with this. Get rid of that. And then let's see what else do I have here? I have some Bang champagne. Let's see how bad this tastes. Oh, Rich has not had waffles and ice cream? Oh, my man. All right, so there is something to be said about waffles and ice cream. Oh, you too, Will? Oh, my gosh. All right, so let me tell you all, you don't get a physique like this by skipping out on the fun meals in life. This is a physique that's built through years of training and conditioning, both by the mind and the palate. That's unique. Anyways, if you take some, and you don't even have to be fancy with your waffles, get some Eggos. You know, Eggos are already pre-made. You toss them in a toaster. Boom. You get yourself some ice cream. Now, me, I'm a basic guy. Might as well call me a basic bitch when it comes to my ice cream. Vanilla ice cream, 100% all the way. I don't go, I will go strawberry ice cream, but I don't like the strawberry chunks. I don't like a lot of chunks in my ice cream too much in general. So smooth, creamy ice cream is where I'm at. So vanilla ice cream, boom. Get 2 Eggos, put 1 on, put your scoop of ice cream on top, and then you want these Eggos to be freshly toasted. Screw the microwave. It's going to be too soggy and too floppy. You want some firmness here. So you toast your waffle, you put your ice cream on top, you put the other toasted waffle on top. They don't have to be like freshly toasted, but you want them to be warm because that's going to help soften the ice cream. And then the pockets of the ice cream are going to fill the waffle pockets with that goodness of the ice cream dripping off. And then you just pick that up and you can eat it like a sandwich. Now, do you want to be fancy? Could you be fancy? 100%. You can get some of the chocolate syrup, just a little bit of that on top, whatever. I wouldn't do strawberry syrup; it's too sweet for it, in my opinion. But you could. Now, have I thought about doing deep fried ice cream with a waffle sandwich? Yes, I have. Have I done deep fried ice cream before? Yes, I have. Do I have the equipment for a deep fried ice cream right now? No, I don't. I don't have a deep fryer. I have that pan, but I don't believe that's deep enough for what I want. I like it to be deeper. Um, but yes, it is legit good to do. You get that crispiness from the light flakiness of the waffle. You bite into it. The heat counteracts the coldness of the ice cream. So you have it getting to like a neutral temperature. They're fighting for flavor. The waffle is like counteracting the sweetness of the ice cream. Good. Good to go. Mmm. Well, you barely like the waffles. We can win you over on that. Waffles all day. What I should try to do is one day get a deep fried or deep fryer and just start deep frying things like deep fried waffles. Make the waffle, deep fry it, get it crisp on the outside. Because let's be honest, it's not healthy for you at all. But most things deep fried is just delicious. And called it. It stopped raining. It's no longer raining outside. Storm's passed. I just looked outside. But I've been talking everybody's ear off for the last, like, I don't know, 2 hours. Yes, it does sound tasty. I know. I will say this, Chris. Chris, if you're still there, uh, put a one if we're still doing the thing tonight. Angel, you know what? I will talk some more. It's because that's what I do very well. I talk all day, every day. It's my specialties. Literally, my career right now is talking. And bro, you missed it. I made a breakfast burrito, a waffle and eggs and bacon, all for like under $10. Technically, it was $9 to do everything. And okay, so tonight I'll be on the Green Zone, I believe is their new name, talking about comics. So I'll be a guest on there tonight. So if you guys want to, if you people want to see me there, I'll be talking about comics tonight. And see here. And then, yeah, bro, it was delicious. I still have some leftovers. And I haven't told mom what you told me last night. So I'm leaving that for you to tell her. So, to her knowledge, you're not coming yet. I haven't mentioned that to her. I can say that here because she's not here right now, Angel. Mm, yes. Good idea, Will. And actually, because man, you guys do a better job at this advertisement stuff than I do. I'm not gonna lie. So, for those of you in the chat, if you haven't heard already, my brother and I have a side project called Tales of Two Bros. We have podcasts out now, and we have our own little YouTube channel, which I should be able to pull and plug into here. Let me see if I can do that. And then basically, Tale of Two Bros is where my brother and I will do reviews uh, and of stuff we've witnessed, we liked or did not like, but also where we just flat out discuss stuff from our past. Now, let's see here. It's not going to be on this account. It's going to be on this account. There we go. Go back to my subscriptions. Wait, should it? Because it's A. It should be right here. And oh, there we go. Tales of Two Bros. It's not a Tales of Two Bros. It's Tales of Two Bros. That's my fault. And let's see here. Copy that. And I am going to put the link here in the chat. Tales of Two Bros. And then put that there. And then we're going to take that and then pin. But yes, as my brother mentioned, our podcast is on Google, Amazon, Audible. We're on Audible? I should get Audible. Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well. One of our reviews is going to be just on podcasts. The other ones are going to be on all of it, including YouTube. I'm proud of my brother. He's taking the reins as far as like doing the actual recordings and the editings. So it's he's doing learning processes on there. But he's done stuff that I haven't done. Like he has an intro cutscene. He adds in music. I'm way more basic. I'll just do the editing of the dialogue and stuff like that. And I have the camera angles here that you can see, but I don't have like cutscenes and stuff like that. So my brother is actually doing some cool stuff with it. And each time he does something, we do something new. We actually learn something new and we tweak it a little bit better. So we're doing it for the fun of it and for the bonding experience. I can honestly say that. Oh, Rich, you're on Spotify? Is it under your same screen name or is it under a different screen name on Spotify? Yeah, and I know, Angel, you're trying and learning and you're loving it. I see when you get it and it clicks for you, you love it. Like he just showed me a cool thing that we did last night called immersive view on Zoom. He actually figured that out before I did because I never did the update for Zoom. And so we did it last night on our Bad Batch review, our watch party, and which was kind of cool. And then after we were done our stream, we figured out there was a new trick that we could do with it. So we might try that for our next movie or show review. And hopefully people will like what we do with it. It was good for a laugh anyways. So you can look forward to that tomorrow night. I'm going to try to do that for tomorrow night, see if we can get that going. It's going to be interesting. Oh, Zoe, you saw the wait, Zoe, whose podcast did you see? Bridges or Angels and Eyes? And let's see here. Though I don't have anyone to talk to. Oh, so you don't have it. Rich, you don't remember? Come on, man. You got to get that information so that way I can Google you and find out. Okay. And then let's see here. Oh, bro, remember we were playing around with the camera angles on the immersive view? That's what I was talking about. Where I was like zooming in, zooming out, moving stuff around. It was late night. It was past Angel's bedtime, so he might have forgotten. He was yawning in the process as well as laughing. I still have to set up the Twitter account for Tales of Two Bros, but I'm gonna set that up that way. When we go live on certain things, we can advertise it through there as well as basically have that as a point of contact. So if people want to reach out to us, we can actually probably communicate in that way. But that's going to become my responsibility on that. Yeah, Kim was having a good time with what we were doing with it last night. It was funny. You know what? This champagne bang is not that bad. It reminds me low key like champagne cola. For those of you who don't know champagne cola, go to your grocery mart, stop by the Spanish food section. You know where they have the sodas and the Spanish food, and you'll more likely find it's like champagne cola or like Gold's cola or something like that, and it tastes eerily familiar to that, very similar to it. I can mess with this. This is good. Also got this at Dollar Tree. But that was not part of the recipe today, so that did not count toward my $10. Also, if you're in the Spanish food section, if you like coconut, get Coco Rico. Coco Rico, the soda that tastes like a coconut. It is also delicious. Oh yeah, that's right. My brother did set up a Tales of Two Bros on Instagram. So I'm going to be replacing his film combatant link that I have on our description to put in Tales of Two Bros. So that's now going to be the biggest thing there. Actually, I'll probably just add the two of them, but I'll put that one in the lead, and I'll start putting the hashtags for that part in there. I'm learning about the hashtags part. Yes. Am I old when it comes to technology and how social media works? Absolutely. Am I young at heart and a child and immature? 100%. That's how I keep my youthful exterior. Oh, wow. Okay, so on that note, I do have some cleaning I need to do. Um, oh, wow. I just saw your reference there. Will Morris, that is not a bad suggestion. I remember watching Only the Strong back in the day. I do remember that. And and yes, that picture that my brother used is from a picture back when I went to stay with him in New York, and we went to a New York Comic Con. That was back in my slimmer fit days where I was working out more, and I dressed up as Luke Cage, Power Man, and my brother dressed up as Iron Fist, which was funny because a lot of people would recognize my brother, and a lot of people would not recognize me, and unless I was standing next to my brother, and then they go, "Oh, you're supposed to be Luke Cage." I'm like, thank you," because it was basically just a shaved head, somewhat mustache, sunglasses, leather straps, a shirt and jeans. I wasn't really doing much because Luke Cage doesn't really go fancy. Uh, but there was a couple times where I got spotted and someone comes up to me. My brother was around. They were like, "You're Luke Cage, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Can you sign this for me?" And like, "Can I get your photo?" I was like, I was so proud. When you cosplay and dress up at and people get your costume without you having to rationalize or do something to trigger their memory of it, that's a proud moment. I was very proud of those times. Mom says she won't be around. This is news to me. Where's she going? Bunda, you're late. You're late. You missed all the wonderful cooking I did for $10. Technically nine. Technically $9. Well, if you include the cookies, $10. I made waffles. I made bacon. I made eggs. I made a breakfast burrito with sausage bags, sausage, eggs, bacon, and all that all together. It was delicious. Oh, your Spotify is called My General Thoughts. Okay. Yes, last time I did dress up, I was Taskmaster. I was also a little bit heavier set then. Um, but I remember doing the Taskmaster. The mask I thought looked good, and I had not finished out the shield, but it was it was enough, and it was funny because I walked in, and this was in 2020. I want to say that this happened. We walked into the convention. It was like a school gymnasium or something like that. Not really a big convention, small one. And one person walks up to me and he goes, "You must be dying," because I was like head to toe, like long jeans, boots, leather jacket, had my mask on, had a hoodie underneath it, like over my mask. On top of that, so I had like three masks on top of the facial mask. So like I did not have like there was no way I was gonna get sick because there was no skin contact. On the flip side, though, my mask that I wore was like this paintball mask that was like a skull face, but it had no. It was like plastic eyes for the eye sockets, so it would fog up every like 5 minutes, and it got to the point where I literally was just hanging out with like Kim, because my brother. He's like a bat out of hell when he sees like Funko Pops, and he moves like so quick when he sees a Funko Pop. So I'm like hand on shoulder of Kim, and I'm using her like a CNI dog, so I can get through the crowds. And then it got to the point where I just said screw it, and I would just have the mask hang it up here. And then when people wanted to take my photo, I would drop the mask down. And I didn't want to carry my toy guns with me, so I had these holsters that were empty, and I didn't want to bring the toy guns into a facility that I didn't trust. So I would like do this when I'm taking a photo. It was ridiculous. It was good for a laugh. Actually, no. Uh, like my brother doesn't. When we go on long road trips with my brother, it is like I say this with all due respect, bro. I love you, but it's like putting a baby to sleep. You know, when you drive around the town to put a child to sleep in a crib, like it's just soothing for them in the car. Angel on a long road trip knocks him out. I've never known him to stay awake on a long road trip if he's not the one driving. If he's the passenger, you're guaranteed he's going to be passed out. So he'll drive and stay awake if he's driving, but if he's the passenger, 9 times out of 10 he'll be the one sleeping on the passenger seat. And then, I mean, bro, we could do a video where I work out with you. I feel like I have to work out a little bit more before I actually do a video with working out with you again, because last time I did it, I almost passed out. I almost threw up. I almost collapsed on the ground. Like it was bad. I was like, that was the moment I realized, yeah, I'm out of shape because I'm jumping up on benches, and then like I just like completely fell across. I had to walk off camera. My brother's like recording. I had to walk off camera. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And I'm like dry heaving in the corner. I got a good workout. No lie. I did work out and I sweated my ass off. But it was a realization for me that day. Uh, and then let's see. All right. Well, I would say though I haven't been on a road trip with my brother in a long time. Usually it's like I have a road trip to go see him and he has a road trip to see me. But last time him and I had a long road trip, I mean, bro, you can correct me, but it was when we went to Georgia with mom, and we drove through Jacksonville and we went to that plantation, and then also was it yeah, we drove through Jacksonville, we stopped by the plantation, and then we went to Georgia and we stayed in Georgia for Mother's Day. I want to say that's when the last time we had a like a big family road trip like that. So Rich, comic book and video game. I'm using my channel and name now. Rich, comic book and video game. You're saying that's on Spotify right now, Rich? or is that just your YouTube? That's your name you're going by on YouTube. Let me do this real quick before I forget. Um, did we all drive together going to Orlando, or did we meet up in Orlando? I can't remember. I feel like those were two different times. Like I feel like the Georgia one was. Oh no, we did go to Orlando. It was about going to Dad's like a hour and a half drive nowadays. So yeah, you did sleep on Dad. So going to Dad's was the one time that we did do that lot most recently. So that was in within the year that him and I did drive like more than an hour together. I was a driver and he did sleep on that ride too. Billy, you're missing out, man. Florida is yes, I say a lot of times there's a lot of flaws in Florida, but there are a lot of good things in Florida. There are things to see and do without having to deal with the chaos that is here. Uh, so it depends on what you're looking to do, where you're going to want to go. So there's a lot of really nice spots to go. Oh, it was for your birthday, bro. Okay, yeah, for the Orlando thing. Gotcha. And also, Phil, take into consideration a lot of stuff that we do here is open. I went to see Fast and Furious in theaters. Case in point. Um, People go out. If you're vaccinated, you can do even more things. If you're not vaccinated, you just wear a mask and you can get away with a lot of stuff. If you like nature, we still have nature parks you can go to. You can do lazy rivers and so forth like that. You got the amusement parks you can go to, water rides, beaches. Um, let's see, skydiving. They got natural formation caves, I think, that are here. So dive spots, you could go diving, so forth like that. Richard Todd. Okay. Like you're like two robins rolled into one, Rich. It's Richard is Richard Grayson and then Jason Todd. So it's like two Robins. That's how I'll remember that. Bunda, you're not wrong. There have been cases where buildings have collapsed here, not due to earthquakes, but I do know stories of like sinkholes. So yes, there has been a case where someone actually was sleeping in their bedroom and a sinkhole opened up, and the bedroom actually collapsed underneath them, and the portion of the house actually buried them, and it was so dangerous that the rest of the family that was in the house was able to get out, but the person that was in the bedroom that collapsed was actually still alive, and the worker crew could not get in there to save the guy, so they ended up having to still close and let it collapse on top of it. It's a very sad story actually. And guy basically was buried alive underneath the house. And there's a part I want to say is close to the Hillsborough River where a woman's house, elderly woman, where it actually collapsed. There's a road, like a street that actually drives through, and the where the entire house actually sunk through. I remember hearing this story. How true it is, I don't know, but I remember hearing it from a college professor where it was like for uh, like a geology class or something like that, and the professor was talking about how you could actually go diving in this part of the river, and you will see like a house that has collapsed into the river, and you'll and if you know if you search hard enough, you'll probably find the body of the elderly lady that lived there, because it just like everything just sunk in there. And at that time, no one was willing to go dive because it was a dangerous area, And after so many years, it's not that dangerous anymore. But it's like one of those things like lost to time, and people just don't bother going digging for that. So Philly, Phil, it depends on what stories you're looking at and where you're gonna go in Florida. Let's just be honest. I still encourage come to Florida. It's a good vacation spot. Would you want to live here? That's where the debate comes in. Let's see here. And then, I mean, most of the stuff that I've done here, this is turning from cooking stream to like open discussion. So most of the stuff I've done here in Florida have been like, I haven't done jet. I don't count the time I went jet skiing with my family because basically I was too young to drive the jet ski, so I had to hold on to my dad. But I have done skydiving. I have done what is it? Why can't I remember all the stuff I've done now? Sugar. I've done a bunch of stuff here, and I just can't remember. Paintballing. There's a paintball place like 15 minutes away from here. Skydive place is like about 30 minutes away from here. The various museums I've been to, there was like a tornado simulator. I've gone to like nature parks, nature preserves, animal rescues, where I was like literally like 5 feet away from like lions. Which hearing a lion roar is not like when you're in the zoo. Like I was in an animal preserve, the Big Cat Rescue. I'm sure most of you have already heard of Big Cat Rescue. I've been there, and I could hear a lion roar, and I was nowhere near the lion, and it was out of eyesight. It sounded like the lion was next to me. It was just intense hearing that lion roar. And then I also learned about a particular breed of animal that is neither bear nor cat. It's called a bear cat. And if I knew it wasn't illegal, if it was legal to own one, I would totally own a bear cat. Their paws emit a certain type of oil that makes them smell like fresh popcorn. So this is like this big fluffy thing that looks like a breed of a cat bear with this huge tail that just comes down to a point. And then biologically speaking, it's not a bear or a cat, but their paws would make it smell like popcorn at all times. Not like buttery popcorn, just like natural popcorn popped. So if you like popcorn smell, this was the animal you would want on your side. Let's see here. Yeah, there's like something about like 6 or 7 different Robins, I want to say. There's like Dick, Jason, Tim. Those are the classic 3 that everybody knows. Damien, obviously. Stephanie, yes. And I want to say there's a couple more. Yes, so Carol Baskin from I was there. The one time I went to, or 2 times I went to Big Cat Rescue, she one of those times I swear she was there too. And yeah, there's probably a Robin like the future or something like that. Good times, good times. But on that note, I just realized it's already 5:10. I have to take apart my desk that I just set up that is brand new and reorient the shelves because I don't like where the shelves are right now. So I will have to give my parting adieus. I will be on later tonight on the Green Zone to share. Tomorrow I'll be on another channel. I will be out. And of course, if you're looking for me on my channel, I will be watching Yasuke tomorrow night. Usual time around 8 o'clock with my brother Angel and Kim, who are now hosting Tales of Two Bros, our project that's on the side. And the rest of the week. If you can't be there tomorrow, will be usual schedule. Wednesday will be game stream, as well as in the morning, low key. And then Friday, back to Bad Batch. So the cycle begins anew, basically. Other than that, I will thank everybody here. You all are fantastic. I was able to get done my cooking fairly quickly. Next week, I'll try to make it a little bit more difficult, see what I can get in the same budget, but actually do something different. Not so much breakfast, because breakfast is easy. I'm not going to lie, I cheated. And then from there, we'll work on building that up. But I do love talking to everybody here on the chat. It's a good time. Everybody here is fantastic, and I look forward to it every time I do it, because this is fun for me, and it gets me to meet all of you. So once again, thank you. As always, continue watching anime, expand your minds, and just be excellent. Laters.